straight ahead at 10, the suspect in the 11-year-old Houston girl's death is charged with capital murder. How to keep your child safe from predators.
Disconnecting students from cell phones during school hours. See why an Oklahoma legislator wants to put the idea to the test.
And high winds threaten to fan the flames of a grass fire. Oklahoma firefighters staying ahead of it. News 12 at 10 starts now.
Live from 12 Studios, this is News 12 at 10.
Welcome to News 12 at 10. I'm Brenda Teal.
I'm Jeff Eliasoff. Strong winds and no rain. A hazardous mixture for grass fires. Johnston and Pontotoc County firefighters combined to keep a fire in Mill Creek from spreading. 8 different fire departments, along with Oklahoma Forestry, responded to the fire between Connerville and Mill Creek. Flames spread across more than 100 acres. The high winds made it difficult to access this fire. Johnston County Emergency Management Director Jason Bryant says the expected wind shift tomorrow could make the fire spread.
So yeah, the winds are going to be gusting about 25 miles an hour tomorrow, and with that blowing embers, it could spread easily across a roadway, a creek.
Local fire crews focused on getting the fire lines under control tonight to prevent any spreading. Tomorrow, teams are also keeping a close eye on nearby structures.
We heard him say that we could see the wind shift tomorrow. Let's turn our eyes now to our chief meteorologist, Steve Lenore, for more.
Got a cold front coming, so this gusty southerly wind, I'm talking 30, maybe 40 mile per hour wind overnight. We can hear it kind of whistling through the wires here at the station. Well, that'll shift to a north wind, not quite as strong, but still very gusty on Thursday. So we've got a weather aware overnight tonight and through Thursday for these gusty winds. Please, I think this is kind of a no-brainer, but I need to say it just to be safe. Please avoid outdoor burning, outdoor welding, anything like that in the next 24 hours that might provide an ignition source outdoors. Now, the highest gusts will be overnight tonight. And please, both hands on the wheel, okay? Especially on east-west roadways. Tremendous crosswind out there tonight, and that'll be the case tomorrow as well. Now, right now, winds are gusting about 30 miles per hour. We have noticed a slow but steady increase in the wind gust here since 7 p.m. and we expected that. Temperature-wise, it's still about the same now as it was at sunset, right around 68 degrees. Now, overnight temperatures may fall as low as 60. I think that might be on the low end of probability. It's just so windy and warm out there with that strong southerly wind. Not cooling much tonight. Now, again, a front comes through tomorrow, and we'll have a little bit of a lowering of temperature with that. We'll talk about how much it'll cool off a bit later.
All right, thank you. We've been talking about these warm temperatures. 19 of the last 21 days have been warmer than average, but we're still not out of the woods for a threat of a freeze. We may still experience a frost or freeze as late as the beginning of March, but experts don't believe it will be any harm to any plants. So just be prepared, though, just in case you need to cover them at night.
Oh, you're going to get some full growth between now and call it maybe Memorial Day. It's, be patient with them. That's to just give them some time as they get acclimated to their new home in your landscape.
And with the warm winter, they also advise to watch your plants for pesky bugs because insects could start coming out as well.
Well, new tonight, a simple conversation about safety with your children could prevent them from being in a dangerous situation.
It's important that they learn about safety from home, from you. News 12's Talia Munson has more about how to have these talks with your children.
Say no, walk away, and tell an adult you trust. Establishing a safety rule like this may prevent your kid from being in an unsafe situation.
Teaching children to recognize and tell someone early on when somebody does something like that is very, very important.
Summer Jr. is the Development and Outreach Coordinator at the Grayson County Children's Advocacy Center. She says it's important to have conversations about safety regularly with your child.
The best weapon of defense we have against those perpetrators is education, and that's education of our children and education of the adults that are around them.
The Child Crime Prevention and Safety Center reports that every 40 seconds, a child goes missing or is abducted in the United States. On Tuesday, an 11-year-old Texas girl was found murdered. Though it may be uncomfortable to discuss,
kids often have a gut feeling when something just doesn't feel right, or when somebody might be trying to take advantage of them, whether that's a stranger or a peer.
Junior says a safety rule could make all the difference in those 40 seconds.
What goes into child abuse is a very intentional process, and perpetrators will often test the waters with children.
Teaching kids to recognize danger. In Sherman, Talia Munson, News 12.
And tonight, the suspect in the death of that 11-year-old Texas girl is charged with capital murder. The Polk County District Attorney alleges Don McDougal murdered Audrey Cunningham and threw her body in the Trinity River. Audrey was last seen Thursday. State police say she never made it onto the school bus that day. McDougal admits leaving the house with her that morning the last time she was seen.
Would have made it to the bus stop, which is relatively just a little under a mile in the same community, real close.
Did anyone see her at that bus
No.
stop?
Court documents show McDougal was convicted in 2010 of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and sentenced to 4 years in prison. McDougal had also been convicted of enticing a child 3 years before.
Charges filed today against a Tishomingo police officer who was arrested last week by state agents. Court records show Brandon Ledoux is charged with lewd molestation and showing obscene material to a minor. Court documents show the abuse happened over a 4-month span when the child was 10 years old. The city of Tishomingo fired Ledoux after his arrest by OSBI.
Tonight, we know the name of the man who led Denison police on a high-speed chase yesterday that ended at the edge of Lake Texoma. Travis Carroll of Randolph had an active warrant from Collin County for bond forfeiture and drug charges. He's being held tonight in the Grayson County Jail on additional charges of evading, deadly conduct, and drug possession.
New at 10, a bill aiming to take cell phones out of public school classrooms is making its way through the Oklahoma legislature.
News 12's Garrett Stringfellow spoke with the lawmaker who authored the bill about the changes he hopes to see.
This seemed like a pretty simple change that could really have a dramatic positive impact for our students.
Oklahoma Representative Chad Caldwell, author of House Bill 3913.
It's a one-year pilot that encourages 9 schools to establish a phone-free program at their school.
The bill would provide schools with grant money for their own system of keeping cell phones out of the classroom.
We wanted to give them the ability to try and find the solution that maybe makes the most sense for this school and their community.
And after the year is up,
we would then kind of track that and look at the information after the end of that school year to see what the impact is.
While some believe the removal of cell phones would also remove distractions.
Well, I am certainly old enough to remember a time that every kid didn't have a cell phone, and everybody seemed to get along just fine.
Some wonder about the wisdom of taking phones away should an emergency arise.
I think the best thing is going to have to try and limit the distractions, be able to make sure that they are able to completely focus on the adult in the front of the room who is able to give them instructions and they can know what exactly to do to keep them safest.
The exact protocol in emergencies will be left up to the individual schools. Caldwell says that they're still at the beginning of the process, but he feels good about getting across the finish line.
I'm pretty confident that we can find a solution that really makes this most sense for our schools, but really also for our students and their parents as well.
Reporting, Garrett Stringfellow, News 12.
And speaking of that, Oklahoma's primary is just 2 weeks away. Early voting for the March 5th presidential preferential primary election begins next Thursday. Now, unlike Texas, Oklahoma has closed primary elections, meaning you must vote in your registered party's primary. Independent voters are allowed to vote in the Democratic, but not the Republican primary in Oklahoma. To find when and where to vote early, go to ok.gov/elections and click on the OK Voter portal. Oklahoma's primary elections are June 18th.
Oklahomans could soon save on grocery costs. Senate Pro Tem Greg Treat announced today that the Senate will put the grocery tax cut up for a vote on the floor tomorrow. If passed, this would get rid of the state portion of the grocery tax, saving Oklahomans an average of about $400 a year. If passed, this could go into effect this summer.
Still ahead, a ruling by the Alabama Supreme Court forces some fertility clinics to close.
Today marked another warmer than average day in Texoma. How is your weekend shaping up? Steve has your futurecast. You're watching News 12 at 10 A windy Wednesday night in February. We're so glad you're with us this evening.
Abel Alleman Roofing is the area's first platinum preferred contractor. From storm damage to new builds, no job is too big or small. You can trust us to save you money and extend the life of your new roof.
After 51 years, we're still here installing the best roof.
As one of the longest standing roofing companies in Texoma, we've been serving you for over 50 years, and we'll be here earning your trust for another 50.
I trust Abel Alleman.
I trust Abel Alleman.
We trust Abel Alleman Roofing, and we won't use anyone else.
Give us a call today.
Whether because of discomfort, lack of mobility, your lifestyle, or occupation, you sit inactively way too many hours a day. Introducing Ellipse, the premium quality automatic seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation without physical strain or impact.
It is so quiet that none of my coworkers even know I'm using it.
Strengthen and tone your legs, increase your mobility, flexibility, and balance. Plus, stimulate healthy circulation.
My joints feel better, my knees feel better, my back feels better. It makes me feel stronger too.
Perfect for home therapy. Whisper quiet to use while you work.
My circulation is moving, I'm burning calories, and it makes me feel energetic.
Call now and order Ellipse, the seated exerciser that strengthens legs, increases mobility, and boosts circulation. Call and get upgraded to the Deluxe Bundle. Get the faster motor or 5 miles of steps per hour, the step counter, the sport mat, and wireless remote. Call now.
Now is the time to take advantage of the President's Day sales event here at Carter County Dodge.
Right now, get as low as 0% financing on select new Ram trucks. Come in and save big with $10,000 off a new 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee. If that's not enough, take up to $17,000 off a new 2024 Ram 1500. Or take up to $20,000 off a new 2024 Ram 2500 and 3500. Savings are adding up and they won't last long. Stop in today for 0% financing on select new Ram trucks at Carter County Dodge.
And remember, if it doesn't say Carter County Dodge, you pay too much.
Attention! If you or a loved one are over the age of 65 and were diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, listen carefully to this important legal announcement. Workers in labor occupations were unknowingly exposed to asbestos in the 1970s, 80s, and 90s. Affected occupations include carpenters, electricians, roofers, mechanics, machinists, pipe fitters, railroad workers, and more. Even if you were a smoker, your lung cancer may have been caused by asbestos exposure on the job. Over $30 billion in court-ordered trust fund money has been set aside to pay lung cancer patients and their families. Call the Asbestos Claims Network today to see if you qualify. Best of all, you may be able to claim your trust fund money quickly and without going to court. Call the Asbestos Claim Network today to find out how much you're entitled to and how long it will take to file your claim. The call is free and the initial consultation is free. Call 1-800-600-3919. That's 1-800-600-3919.
Well, the White House is considering a new executive action for the southern border. The policy would make it more difficult for migrants to seek asylum if they enter the U.S. illegally. It involves an authority known as 212F. Former President Donald Trump tried to do something similar in 2018. A federal court ruled 212F authority does not override existing asylum law. It's not known how the Biden administration's actions would overcome this. The action is only under consideration. A final decision has not yet been made.
Real-life consequences are unfolding after the Alabama Supreme Court ruled that frozen embryos are children.
This means embryos are protected under the state's Wrongful Death Act of a Minor Act. Emily Schmidt has more on what that means for patients and for providers as well.
The Alabama Supreme Court's ruling that frozen embryos are children is sending shockwaves through the state and the nation, leaving people trying to become parents through infertility treatments anxious and in limbo.
We had paid our clinic in full. We had purchased all of our medication.
Gabrielle Goydell and her husband spent more than $20,000 on in vitro fertilization treatments after 3 miscarriages.
And to be told that there was a possibility that we would have to stop this in the middle of one of the most important parts of it is really terrifying.
The Supreme Court's ruling came down on Friday in response to lawsuits filed by 3 couples whose embryos were accidentally destroyed. The court finding that frozen embryos are children and anyone who destroys them can be held liable for wrongful death. Critics, including the White House, warned of broader implications.
This is exactly the type of chaos that we expected when the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
Wednesday, the University of Alabama at Birmingham Health System announced it had paused in vitro fertilization, saying they're saddened but must evaluate the potential that our patients and our physicians could be prosecuted criminally or face punitive damages.
UAB is the first system to stop. I don't think it's going to be the last.
Goodell, who's not a patient at the UAB clinic, says she's continuing her treatments as long as her clinic allows.
I've already been so poked and prodded with the IVF process, and now I feel like there's somebody else who's coming into my personal life.
Goodell says if she ends up with extra embryos, she hopes to move them out of Alabama. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Still ahead, everything you need to know to cast your ballot in the Texas primaries.
And all this wind will push a cold front into Texoma tomorrow. How much cooler will it get? And when can we get some rain? It's been about 12 days now since we had any. Could use a little precip. We'll talk about that too when I return.
Ashley's President's Day mattress sale is going on now. Shop incredible mattress hot buys. Your choice, just $6.99. Plus, save up to $1,000 on select mattresses. And for a limited time, receive a $300 instant gift with the purchase of any Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress set. Plus, we offer special financing options for every budget and free delivery. For better sleep and savings, visit your local Ashley store in Oklahoma City, Norman, Ardmore, and Shawnee to shop the President's Day mattress sale.
At KXII, we understand how important an audience is to growing a business. And just like Bearcat Stadium, we know how to bring a crowd. This stadium has the capacity to hold over 6,500 people. Our 6 p.m. news has 3 times that amount watching every single night. Now imagine your business getting all that attention. We're not just selling ads, we're putting your brand in front of thousands of potential customers. If you're ready to start something extraordinary, call me, Lindsay Harris, at 903-891-1203.
7 years ago is a pretty great way to start a speech. But if it's also the age of your furniture, it might be time for a home refresh during the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend and check out special purchases while they last. Plus 6 years, no interest. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices, guaranteed. But hurry, the extended President's Day Super Sale at Furniture Row ends soon.
There are trucks, and then there's the GMC Sierra. Available with the connected driving experience. And the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. It's the truck. Or Texas residents get 1.9% APR for 72 months on select Sierra 1500 models.
See your Texoma GMC dealers.
What happens when Joe Biden lets in millions of illegal aliens? Just look in the emergency room. Drug overdoses, victims of gang violence and sexual assault. Emergency room doctor Carrie Demore has seen the results of Biden's open border, and she's determined to stop it. Dr. Carrie Demore is a conservative Christian and a strong Republican who will fight to lock down the border. For Texas Senate, conservative doctor Carrie Demore.
Choctaw culture is our everyday life. It has stood the test of time, carried from generation to generation. Our elders teach us to be curious about the world and to look for answers in tradition. We share that curiosity with our children, who will become the great minds of the future. The welcoming hands of the Chutta people extend an invitation to visit the Choctaw Cultural Center.
The News 12 app, accurate news on the go that you can trust. Download for free today, because when it comes to local news, Texoma turns to us. This weather segment sponsored by Langford Roofing. Langford Roofing since 1937. From the Weather Authority, here's Steve Lenore.
So tonight we can view one thing 2 different ways. First of all, from our satellite perspective, you can see this ribbon of moisture right across Texoma this afternoon, shifting south into the evening. Now, from our tower cam perspective, we can see that same thing in motion. So here we are starting at 5 o'clock. That's the ribbon of moisture over Texoma, shifting off to the south, as you see here with the setting sun, leaving us with a gorgeous sunset, 6:14 p.m. There it is. And we're going into a mostly clear night, but I expect some cloud cover to be coming in later on tonight with all this strong southerly wind. Moisture is being pushed in to Texoma. That's one reason we are not cooling off much at all tonight. We're still in many spots in the upper 60s, like Ardmore. Good evening, y'all. Our 68 degrees around Sherman Denison, east of Bells, Durant, 66 this hour, and also Hugo and Paris doing the same thing. A pair of 6s there. A winning hand if you don't like cold weather. Very mild tonight, that's for sure. Okay, here's a fresh look at your overnight gust picture. The winds out there tonight are blowing along pretty vigorously. They've been picking up gradually. We're seeing a lot of spots getting close to 30 miles per hour already. And I think overnight we could see some spots hitting 40. Maybe 45. I think somewhere in that range would be the absolute max overnight winds, but we can't see the model is still showing, and this is a fresh version of this high-resolution wind model, still showing a few spots that may hit 40 miles per hour. Now, this is going to be overnight. By the time you get up in the morning, the worst of the wind will be over. I'm not expecting really damaging wind, but a few small tree branches may break off. There could be some litter going down the street if you're not careful about those trash cans, and some patio furniture may be moved around, things like that. So as we get into the mid-morning tomorrow, the wind starts to shift to the northwest. We've got a dry cold front coming in. Now, it will be a windy day tomorrow, too, but not as bad as tonight. We're going to do about 30 miles per hour out of the north tomorrow. Should be a pretty Thursday with a lot of sunshine out there and drier air coming in, so just a little cooler on Thursday. Today, most spots are between about 77 and 81 degrees. Tomorrow, we'll start off at about 60, and it'll go up to about 70 or 72 for the high tomorrow. So noticeably cooler, but still very pleasant for this time of the year. I mean, the average high should be in the upper 50s, and we've only seen 2 days this month that have been average or below average on the high temperature. 19 of 21 days have been warmer than average. It looks like this February will go down in the top 5 warmest on record. Of course, we'll have those numbers for sure at the end of the month, but we're running 7 degrees above average for the month. That's big, okay? So as you know, it's been a very warm month, but there's a pattern shift next week. For the next 4 or 5 days, it's more of the same. Unseasonably strong high pressure, deflecting all the cold air to the north, and high temperatures in the 70s or 80s every day. But when this low pressure shows up next Tuesday, we start to see a chance of rain and then some colder weather behind this shot of showers or maybe a couple of thunderstorms, most likely Tuesday night into Wednesday, the way it looks right now. For tonight, windy and warm, 60 degrees. Winds may gust up to about 40 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we're looking at 72, beautiful but rather windy Thursday. Now, Friday's a super day, not a lot of wind. High still near 70. Back to some strong winds and temperatures 83 next Monday.
I can't believe it, but I will.
I hear the fans in the background blowing their horns. They're so excited.
83!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Still ahead, rural law enforcement agencies could get some financial help leveling the crime-fighting playing field in Texas. You're watching News 12 at 10.
United Ag and Turf understands that everyone has a unique vision for their property. Whether you're starting a garden, raising animals, or just enjoying the extra space, United Ag and Turf has a John Deere tractor package that's customized for you. Packages designed for hauling, mowing, loading, grading, and more. With 0% financing for 84 months and 0 down available. Turn your land into the space of your dreams with United Ag and Turf. Visit unitedagandturf.com for more.
Want to test drive U.S. Cellular's network free for 30 days?
Yeah.
Use this app. Want to do it even faster? Here we go.
Oh, wow. U.S. Cellular works great out here. Wow. Still have 5G here, too. Hey, I wonder if U.S. Cellular lets me stream in my... Rec room. Yep, it's working. Hey, thanks for the lift.
Test drive U.S. Cellular's award-winning network free for 30 days.
Hi, I'm Norman O'Neill, and this is my wife, Shawana. You've watched us grow, and you've helped us grow Texoma, and we want to thank you all. Fossil Ridge Roofing and Construction is the first to bring the lifetime workmanship warranty to our area that others were soon to follow. Call us for your free, honest inspection of your home today.
Hi, I'm Josh Marr, and I'm asking for your vote for Grayson County Commissioner. I'm a lifelong resident of Grayson County, raised working on my family farm and graduate of Tarleton State University. We need a strong new leader to guide us through this time of exponential growth that can be smart, healthy, and prosperous. I'll protect property rights for affordable living and strive to lower the taxes while keeping a lean and balanced budget to support the needs of our people. As your county commissioner, I am fully dedicated to lead and serve this community. Vote Josh Marr for County Commissioner, Precinct 1.
Being the #1 Volkswagen dealership in the DFW Metroplex means everyone at Brandon Thomas Volkswagen goes above and beyond. And we mean everyone.
We get to boss our dad around. He helped us find great deals.
That's right. Get 1.9% financing on all new Jetta, Taos, and Tiguan models in stock. Or lease a 2024 Tiguan for $299 per month.
He's done a pretty good job. Maybe we should bring him to work with us more often. Da-na-na.
Shop Brandon Thomas Volkswagen in McKinney today.
KXII.com has a new look, but the same news you've come to know and trust. Log on to KXII.com today and find out why Texoma turns to us.
Finally, some good news from the City of Gunter's government, which had been unable to conduct business since every council member resigned back in December. The city announcing today that 3 of the 5 open council seats will run unopposed on the May ballot. Once elected, Cindy Davis, David Self, and William Stevens will serve for the next 2 years. The deadline to file to run for the other 2 seats is next month.
Early voting for the March primary election has started in Texas. The ballot features a local Texas House race. On the Republican side, incumbent Reggie Smith is being challenged by Shelley Luther for the second time. In March of 2022, Smith beat Luther by 4,500 votes.
If they want someone to finally do exactly what they say, people should vote for me. I mean, I have no other agenda. I have nothing else.
If you want continued effort to secure the border and to cut property taxes, I'm the guy you need to vote for.
Early voting ends on March the 1st with Election Day March 5th. Whoever wins the Republican primary between Smith and Luther will face Democrat Tiffany Drake in the November general election.
$125 million in grants. That's what the state is awarding rural sheriffs and prosecutors across Texas. The legislation was authored by Senator Drew Springer and designated to help rural areas compete with larger counties.
The initial design of the grant was to get raise the salaries up in rural counties, and so once you meet the salary requirements, then you're able to use that grant money to purchase updated equipment or anything like that.
And counties with a population smaller than 300,000 are eligible to receive that grant money.
And we're talking tonight once again about some high school athletes moving on and going to bigger and better things.
That's right. They were granted a scholarship so they can go play sports. That's a pretty good deal. Coming up, it was signing day for several Texoma athletes. We'll tell you where they are headed, and a big day of college softball with a local former player returning to the field she played on as a head coach now. Sports is next.
What does great health actually look like? It's a question many of us aren't even sure how to answer. And who said greatness needs to look so great? Greatness just starts. A healthy life isn't one size fits all. It's a move to make your life your own. And we can show you how to do it. With exercises you can actually do, food you truly want to eat, all in one place for free. Visit shapeyourfutureok.com to get started.
At Brandon Thomas Subaru, we're unlike anyone around because we're a part of McKinney, and North Texas is the place we proudly call home. We're in the schools, we're at the hospitals, we're with the underdogs, and we're investing in your community, doing the most to make the biggest difference. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, lease the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek for just $323 per month, or the new Outback for $359 per month, all with complimentary maintenance included. Shop Brandon Thomas Subaru in McKinney.
You've asked for it, Texoma. President's Day savings so hot, we've extended it for one more week. One more week to save on overstocked sofas, recliners, bedroom, dining room, and mattresses at 35, 45, 55, some even 75% off. This is your last chance to let our hot prices help you make a warm and cozy home. Don't worry about your interest rate. That's right, 0% for as long as 60 months. One more week to save. Better quality, better prices, Knight Furniture.
School choice sounds nice. So does Federation for Children. Don't be fooled. Caught pushing school vouchers to illegals in Arizona, they've come to Texas. And they want Reggie Smith gone because he stopped their voucher scheme. A magnet for illegal immigrants. They'd go to the front of the line ahead of U.S. citizens. Shelley Luther says she'll vote for vouchers if elected. We can't let that happen. Reggie Smith's fighting for border security. He'll never allow voucher handouts to illegal immigrants.
If you don't want the hassle of dealing with multiple contractors, call the people who do it all. Hutchins Plumbing and Air Conditioning has plumbing, electric, and HVAC contractors ready and waiting. Our 24-hour phone line is always open. We're ready to serve you no matter what time you need us. We offer upfront pricing before the service is done, no overtime charges, and we're licensed, insured, and bonded for your protection. When you call us, you will get it done right now.
This sports segment is sponsored by Get Roofed. Now, your award-winning local sports coverage. Here's David Reed.
Well, the college softball season is off to a hot start in Texoma. We have a lot of talented programs ready to make a run this year. That's the case for the NCTC Lady Lions, who had home field this afternoon. NCTC taking the field today, going up against former SNS star and former Whitesboro softball coach Haley Colwell, who is the head coach at Northeast Texas College. Northeast getting the offense going up 2-0. Maya Bradshaw drives one to the wall. That allows Landry Fonseca to score, but NCTC gets Bradshaw in a rundown. Annie Allgood applies the tag to end the inning. NCTC pitcher Rayleigh Parsons got it going after that, gets the strikeout there to end the fifth. Then she gets a little help from her defense on a softly hit fly ball. Check out Riley Ferguson. She goes and gets it, comes up with it. Nice play there. Northeast wins game 1 3-0. NCTC takes game 2 17-1. But for Colwell, it's her first coaching win at the college level, and on the field she once played on.
It was super exciting, got the win at, my old stomping grounds at NCTC. It brought a lot of memories back playing at this field, and, my girls played together as one, so we got our dub finally.
Double signing day in Munster. Sibling duo Brody and Brooke Tyler signed to make their college choices official. Brooke signed her letter of intent to play softball at Oklahoma Wesleyan. Brooke has been a great player there for the Lady Hornets, while her brother Brody Tyler signs to play baseball at the College of the Ozarks. Both student athletes excited about the next step.
It's a dream come true. I've always wanted to play baseball at a young age, and now that I'm getting the opportunity to play at the college level, it's just amazing.
I really felt like God was leading me to it, and the coaches were just amazing, and whenever I stepped on campus, it just felt like home.
Signing day at SNS High School for Michaela Adams. She signs to play softball at Southwestern Assemblies of God College. Adams has been a great athlete for the Rams, and now she'll take her skills to the next level.
I've wanted to do it ever since I could pick up a ball. I've worked very hard to get here.
Well, the Sherman Shadowcats released their schedule today. It's the first season for the baseball team, and it all begins on May 23rd with the season opener against Joplin. You can see the schedule on their Facebook page as the Shadowcats prepare for their opening season. OSU on the road tonight, taking on the Cincinnati Bearcats. Cowboys up 1. Brandon Garrison gets the feed inside for the Jam. Part of an 8-0 run. Garrison had 14 points. Second half, Cowboys up 5. Keon Williams with the slam here. OSU wins this one by a final of 80-76. So a nice win on the road for OSU. And congratulations to all those that signed today. Kind of a cool day for them.
Yeah, brother and sister to boot.
Right. Yep,
Yeah,
exactly. Big day
scholarships for twins. What a dream. Well, how's our forecast? Kind of dreamy.
It is, man. It's so warm out there. 81 degrees today. That was not a record, by the way. That goes back to 1996 when we had 90 degrees, but definitely way off the mark. In fact, only 2 days this month so far have we been normal or below on the temperature, and we won't be normal tonight. We'll be definitely getting a break on the heater bill. Lows about 60, give or take. Tomorrow, not quite as warm as today, but we'll still get up into the 70s, about 73, 74 degrees. And the wind, that's the problem overnight. Very gusty winds, may top 40 miles per hour at times, and that's overnight. By the time you get up in the morning, they'll start to settle down a little bit, and then that front comes through dry, but we'll get a gusty north wind behind that. A lot of sunshine, really not a bad looking Thursday out there with a high about 72. And every day out there you can see is very warm until we get to next Wednesday. About a week from now, for cold weather lovers, you may have a chilly front coming in.
All right. Thank you, Steve. And thank you so much for joining us.
Our next newscast promptly at 5 in the morning. Until then, please be safe and be well. Good night, everybody.